And hello, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here, not from France or wherever country's Shoulders thinks I'm from.
And O'Brien is here, a.k.a. Shoulders.
So should we just start calling you O'Brien?
Yeah, everybody calls me O'Brien anymore. I don't know. Shoulders bro is a reference. I'll always just the first time say a.k.a. Shoulders.
Some good memories from the UFC days, and your I work out a lot, bro.
With the Kinger.
Yeah, King and the old crew for us. But so how's your week been?
Not bad. Yourself?
Pretty good. It went pretty quick. Me and the boys went fishing. My youngest finally caught his first one.
Nice.
Felt like a 45-pound bass on, and it was a 2-inch crappie. But you know,
my Little League Pirates destroyed the Little League Red Sox today.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Anybody that plays on the Red Sox sucks. So,
yeah. I did not say that, folks. I had nothing to do with that. Especially the Little League Red Sox. You guys are wonderful.
See, the problem why I don't like the Red Sox is because of the freaking Boston Bruin fans, how they're acting with this whole Stanley Cup playoffs and shit. But
what do you expect, Joykoff?
We never get the calls, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's because Marchand's too busy being a douche all the time.
Yeah, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on because
Will we?
The thing was the controversial play. I fell asleep in the third period because I watched the first 2 periods of the game, and
God bless you.
Thank you.
Couldn't get through half a period.
But they're actually putting this up there, and I'm pretty sure you didn't see the play, but they're putting the missed trip call up there with the Saints Rams playoff call.
Jesus.
Listen, I watched it. It may be worse. I mean, it was blatant. He tripped him. And then 3 seconds later, the Blues scored and ended up going ahead 2-1. But
was it a trip or incidental?
No, it was to the point that I'm surprised the guy didn't get hurt with his knee. He actually got taken out of the game because when he did fall, his head hit the ice, so he got put in the...
Did he get a boo-boo?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I know you say you're not really into this year's finals, but I think I've seen out the 5 games 3 or 4 of them, and they've all been good. And the one thing I've been taken away from it is that it seems like when the Blues are physical with the Bruins, smash them, this and that,
right?
They're kind of taking the Bruins out of their game, and it's working.
Right.
But when
they're used to being the bullies.
Yeah, and when they're just kind of laid back, they get taken advantage of. And like this past game, the first period, they weren't really hitting as much. They were more going after Chara because he has a broken jaw and came back to play and blah blah. But the first period, the Bruins had like 13 shots to 3 for the first period, and the second period came and the Blues just started laying people out. And
that wasn't a trick.
Oh wow! I mean, listen, I want the Blues to win and shit, but that was bad.
It was incidental. He didn't purposely do it. It was his skate, not his stick. You realize that, right? Their feet.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But, well, we'll get into that later on. But before we... I
don't think that's as bad as the New Orleans call. Sorry. I disagree.
Yeah? Okay.
Dude, the New Orleans... The guy was like running down and got freaking cold-cocked and kicked in the junk.
Well, he got cold-cocked in the foot.
He did. He got slew-footed, if anything.
But before we really start the show off and everything, head over to Twitter. Follow us at ST Sports Podcast. If you guys listen to this before the UFC event tonight, I'll be live tweeting. I know you got work and everything, but it should be a good show. When the fights come on that I think are going to be really good fights, maybe I'll try to FaceTime you or whatever, and you could watch it then. But also follow my personal one at Jimbo ST Sports. Follow O'Brien at shoulders_bro.
Yeah.
So O'Brien _ man. Yeah. Your sentence keeps getting longer and longer.
Just gonna have to be O'Brien at ST Sports.
But and then where else should we subscribe?
Hey man, you got to go over to the YouTube.
Well,
go over to YouTube and
if we don't start making money off this soon, we might have to head over there.
go over to YouTube and Stay Tuned Sports Podcast. Follow us, like us, watch it there, listen to it.
Also, head over to Facebook too, because all our content goes over there. Like and share us there, and eventually we get enough people and start making money here. Maybe we'll start doing giveaways weekly and stuff like that. So
we didn't set up a MySpace yet, though. We'll get on that.
When was the last time you? Not to get totally off subject, but when's the last time you went to a MySpace?
I go to MySpace down here all the time.
For some reason, it was a couple months ago. I got curious and I went, dude, it's so gay looking. Like, I look back, I'm like, man, when I was like
16, you were looking in the mirror.
Shit, I had MySpace on my forehead. So, to kick off the show, like I try to find topics that not a lot of people are talking about, whether it be smaller shows or anybody on ESPN. An incident happened this past week with a AA Yankee affiliate where a bunt broke up a no-hitter.
Well, a no-hitter including 4 pitchers.
and I'll get to that with my opinion too. So when he ended up being safe, the bench is cleared and everything. They wanted to go after the guy that broke up the no-hitter.
So it was the 9th inning. The guy, they were down 3-0, and the other team bunts and gets safe. Now, mind you, this was the 4th pitcher for the other team in the game. Yeah. So it wasn't a no-hitter for the pitcher. It was just, I guess, a team no-hitter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't get it. But go ahead.
And, to go off that, too, you said about the no-hitter for the team. They interviewed a couple of players from the team that had a no-hitter. And, we take very big pride in trying to get our no-hitters, this and that. Well... Yeah. So first off, I hate this whole
pride. I don't get it.
Well, and I hate this
whole.
Learn
how to field a bunt.
Yeah, and I hate this whole unwritten rule shit.
Right.
The only unwritten rule I'm okay with is if for example, say me and you are on the same team, I'm a pitcher, you get pegged in the head. My unwritten rule is I'm coming up when that batter comes up, I'm pegging him as a retaliation. That's the only unwritten rule that I think should be in baseball. This whole...
Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence? No, Sensei.
But this whole...
No mercy!
Unwritten rule shit. I'm so tired of it. I forget... the bat flip thing with the White Sox kid about a month ago or so. It's an unwritten rule that's disrespectful to the pitchers of how he does... Fuck that.
Yeah, well, again, we're living in a different time where everybody is... Hey...
Yeah.
Me feelings are hurt.
Yeah, do we have to put we're talking about fencing and everything for baseball. Do we have to put a little timeout area for your safe zone or whatever they call it?
It's an unwritten rule now that every team gets trophies.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually just thinking about that with my 2 kids. The past 2 years since they started, every time they had their banquet, we were on vacation, so they never could get their trophies. Right. And I'm thinking... I'm not going to let them take a participation trophy. I'll let them take their picture and everything, and I'll be like, okay, this is not a real trophy. Trophy. Listen, I was out in the sun all day, so I'm a little sunburned. So,
but you're having a little harder trophy in your face. Huh?
But yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, good for him, because even with the cycle in baseball, I never like Chris Davis. He's either home run or strikeout 99% of the time, and he strikes out. But they always put the shift on him. Never understood. Just bunt it down third base line. I mean, how much harder is it to bunt a ball? You hold the bat, you watch the ball hit the bat, and you run. But that's an unwritten rule. You can't do that against the shift.
Why not?
Why? And here the other.
If you want to shift, shit. When we played,
there was no thing.
They shifted on me back then, and I used to then step towards the plate and crack into the right field.
I never heard of shift till about 4 or 5 years ago when I started seeing it in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, well, they didn't call it a shift back then. They would just be like, "Yo, Joey, move over that way. Billy, move over a little."
But would they
move over?
But would they move the whole left side all the way over to the first right field side?
Well, no, because I was a right-handed batter.
Well,
so
you know what I mean.
I can go opposite field.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't real bad, but it was to the point where It was like nobody was playing right field or first base, really, because first base was like at second.
Yeah.
But, and then I would just crack it and get a inside the park home run and call it a day.
Yeah. As far as this guy, I want to give him kudos because even, let's just say the coach didn't call for the bunt. Again, you're down 3 outs. That's my other point, too, I want to make is they weren't down 15-0. All they need is get one runner on, and it changes the whole game. It's a 3-0 game, bottom of the ninth. How many games have you seen that they're down 5-0?
I don't care. My thing is earn it.
And that's what this kid was trying to do. He's trying to get the team back in. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I can't comment on this shit because I seem like a dick.
Well, I mean, you are, but...
We're right.
I mean, I have a source that said that you are very grumpy and you're a dick.
Yeah, well. Maybe I wouldn't be so grumpy if my dick was sore.
But the batter that I want to give a shout to that pulled this off was Matt Lipka. And you know what? Kudos to you for saying fuck the unwritten rule and stuff like that.
Lipka.
I might buy a Lipka jersey. Hopefully, because AA, we have AAA up here in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area. If he does get called up, I'd go see him for one game, get his autograph, shake his hand, maybe slap a State Team Sports.
Somebody ruins something, can we refer to as a Lipka now?
I think we should. Hashtag Lipka.
Yeah. You kind of Lipka this show all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's why we suck. So that was...
Every time you bash your Lipka, it goes down.
So that was the baseball unwritten rule. Another incident happened at the NBA Finals with courtside stuff, and I know you're over this, so that's why I don't want to really go deep into
it.
But I think it was like game 3 or so. I'm
going to go
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's to say they just want to take the heat off Drake.
That's what I'm thinking. But the thing is, it wasn't Eagles fly
on the road.
Pardon the interruptions.
Big Hit Rob calling in live, interrupting our show. Hey, Robbie, you're live on the air.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Hey, we were calling you to get our Miami connection and see if you're going to be on the show.
Well, guess what? Timing is everything, boys.
Right.
Shitty weather, but timing is everything.
I hear you. So, you're live now.
What's going on, boy?
Not much. How are you?
Hey, buddy?
How are you?
Good.
So,
What's up, boy?
did you catch any of the Stanley Cup Finals?
Of course, buddy. I'm hoping the St. Louis Blues can put it away tomorrow.
Right. What'd you think about the trip no call?
Well, the referees haven't had their best refereeing this postseason.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
What could I say?
Right.
I mean,
there it all is, folks.
I know the league is embarrassed, but again, we're all humans. We make mistakes. I could go back to 1 million missed calls and I can continue. How pissed off everybody would be if that was your team.
I mean, it wasn't a blatant like stick trip in the skate blade. It was foot on foot.
Well, that's what I say. I mean, again, the league looks bad.
Right, but to me, it's like I don't think it's that bad of a call.
How many calls have they missed this postseason?
Well, right.
I mean, again, I don't know how the referees in the NHL, if they're full time or they're like the NFL part time, but they need to start getting the rules together, or at least give the coaches some challenges to challenge a penalty or something. Because I mean, come on, these guys, they work so hard to get there.
Right, but do you think the way the coach and fans reacted was appropriate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think throwing stuff on the ice?
In the heat of the moment, in the heat of the moment, it is what it is. I mean, I know you guys are Philadelphia Eagles fans. When the Eagles were playing in the Super Bowl, if they would have got screwed by a call, maybe like the way the Rams did, how would you guys would have felt? I mean, I'm sure there would have been a couple of broken TVs.
But why was it okay? Why was it okay for the Bruins fans to throw stuff out on the ice, But when the Flyers fans did it 2 years ago with the wristbands, you know, we all got chastised for, oh, we're scumbags, this and that. Why is it okay for the Bruins fans to do it?
Again, it all look. I mean, how bad of a call could it have been? I mean, if anything, they got lucky there wasn't a riot.
Yeah.
I mean, look again. I go back to this. It'd be the referees, the NHL. Everybody looks bad.
So here's another story that's going to hit home for you, being a New York Yankees fan and being from the Bronx originally. The Trenton Thunder,
Brooklyn, please.
Oh, sorry, Brooklyn.
Shots fired.
No sleep till. Tuesday night, the Trenton Thunder, the AA affiliate to the New York Yankees, had and you can't see my air quote, no-hitter going because it was 4 pitchers on their team that had the no-hitter. It wasn't one pitcher, but they had a no-hitter going into the 9th. They were up 3-0, and the other team's batter bunted the ball and ended the no-hitter, and the bench is cleared. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the bench is clear, you say, right?
Yeah, they got mad and said, we take our no-hitter seriously, which, to me, a no-hitter is one pitcher the whole game, but okay.
Honestly, that was a little scumbag on, you know, I mean, if you're going to break something, break it with a real hit, no? I mean...
Well, he's trying to get out and still play and win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all for it. Earn it. You can't defend a bunt.
I was just going to tell you as well, I mean, I can see it the other way because you're there to perform, and honestly, you don't want to be no-hit, so your job is to get on regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
But to clear the benches? Like, that's just ridiculous to me.
That was I can really say that was unnecessary.
Like, if it was, I could have respected it more if it was one pitcher in the 9th pitched the whole game and had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
We're talking 4 pitchers.
I couldn't disagree. I mean, that looks embarrassing for the team,
right.
For the organization.
Yeah.
Who the hell cares about a no-hitter with 4 pitchers that came in the game? Like, it's cool, but I wouldn't be that pissed. I'd be like, they lost. Like, you know, you should have... That runner gets on first. Then, let's say the next runner hits a gapper. Now we got a runner on second, third, and he hits a home run and ties the game. Is it a bad move then?
No, it's not.
Right. It wasn't 15-0. It was 3-0 in baseball. We've seen them kind of rallies in our sleep, so I don't know. I just thought it was a black eye for the Trenton Thunder, which I have no personal problem with, but, you know.
They look horrible. Hey, real quick, I wanted to ask you boys, what do you guys think about Carson Wentz new extension?
Yeah, we were going to get to that.
Yeah. I like it, but don't like it. I like the years. I don't like the money.
I don't like any of it yet. We still have 2 years on his rookie contract, and he hasn't shown me nothing.
I'll be honest with you. He was having an MVP year when he went down when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So
right. Yeah. And if we didn't have Nick Foles and we didn't win the Super Bowl, does it matter?
You're absolutely right, but I think about this. You're not going to tell me Carson Wentz is a franchise quarterback?
No, I think he is.
I think he is if he stays healthy. Yeah. I told you, man. I'm not against Carson.
And here's another thing. You tell me Carson Wentz is not better than Dak Prescott?
Oh, absolutely.
He definitely is.
If he stays healthy.
Even if he's not healthy, I think he's better.
I mean, to me, it's not. If your quarterback's not in the game. To me, I don't care if you're Joe Montana. If you aren't in the game, you can't help me. So my biggest thing with Wentz.
Who's your backup quarterback this year?
Exactly. I don't know.
Cody Kessler.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not Nick Foles. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, I don't know, 3 guys competing. I couldn't even tell you who they are right now because I can care less. I ain't going to lie to you.
Honesty, you know?
But,
honesty. You remind me like the Golden State Warriors fans even yesterday early, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Embarrassing, you know? After being champions, like what, 3 of the last 4 years?
Yeah, I'm going for Toronto.
Support to your team.
I'm going for Toronto.
I'm going with Toronto too. I'm hoping to pull their first championship. It'll be good for the city of Toronto.
All because of Leonard, though. He's like
Oh,
slowly
yeah,
growing on me, man.
I mean,
From that laugh.
for letting that guy go.
Right. He's playing unreal, but my favorite thing about him is that clip when he laughs. When you can't see, I don't even know where you are. So, what'd you think about
I love it.
the Raptors guard, Kyle Lowry, when it after a loose ball went into the stands, and then one of the
that
Golden
was
State.
Unexcusable by the owner, Bernie.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
But I almost think, man, call me a conspiracy theorist. Was that just a ply to get some attention off Drake?
Exactly, because isn't that the same exact thing that Drake's doing?
Look, nobody knew who he was prior to the game ending. Then everybody knew who he was. But
Who, Drake?
at the time when it happened, that it happened, you just thought it was a regular sign, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I
A
get it.
regular
Right.
sign would probably be. I'm not gonna probably banned for life. For doing
Banned and
something
probably
like that.
arrested.
Well, he actually is banned the rest
Maybe.
of the
You're
finals.
absolutely right, and arrested. But because he's an owner, he's a millionaire, they give him not even, at least they should have fined him at least $1 million, you know.
Well,
The guy's got
listen,
money.
they did fine him, and they did ban him for a year. The fine was
But
not
you
too
think-
bad.
you
'Cause
think
if this was
that's
the
justifiable?
NFL, it would have been a lot lower. He's getting
Yeah.
$500K fine, $500,000.
And he might get
So
fired
you
from the
think-
team.
So you think it was good decision by the league?
For a first offense, yeah. He hasn't been in controversy or anything.
But how's this different than what Drake does? You know, going up to the coaches
Yeah,
and
well, the thing is, and here's where you gotta personally need, like, you gotta think about this. Drake is probably friends with a lot of these guys, he's friends.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'm 100% sure he's friends with a lot of these guys. They joke around. I mean,
he's also a part
I believe
owner
in
as
one
well.
thing. I believe in game one he had some words with Damon
Yeah.
Green, and the next
Yeah.
day they were eating dinner.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a little different. I agree with you, Swoop, in the fact what's it any different, but, I mean, this guy shoved him for no reason, and he's not
Right.
even, it wasn't
No,
like
I
he
agree.
turned on him,
To me, it's unexcusable.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing. I also, at the end of the day, with the Drake antics, said, my total opinion is at the end of the day, folks, it's a game.
Well, yeah.
So I really don't care what clowns do what. If the league allows it, the league allows it. I really don't care at this point. Now, I'll tell you this much. If Drake got in my face, I'd knock him out. So, you know what I mean? But he's not doing it to fans. He's doing it to people he knows or whatever, and they're okay with it. Then, whatever at this point, But I don't think the shove by the other owner is warranted or should be accepted. And I'm a little proud of the
NBA.
Of the NBA. $500K in a 1-year ban?
And he's not
That's no
he's no high exec either. I mean,
Right.
he's not making chump change, but
that's
You
no
got a good
10K
commissioner.
for
Yeah.
trying to ruin somebody's career in the NFL when you basically put a freaking hammer through their helmet.
Yeah.
A guy can't see straight for 16 weeks and the guy gets fined, I don't know, $12K.
Yeah, well, that's the difference of a good commissioner like Adam Silver instead
Right.
of that piece of crap Roger and
oh, you just don't like
Yeah,
him
I'm
because
okay
you're a
with that.
Giants fan.
What about Mr. Jones? Are you excited yet?
He's been looking good in preseason. I've been hearing a lot of good news.
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Hey, Robbie, I'll tell you this, though. As far as the Wentz deal, I think the Eagles obviously did win. They think they won with this contract. The Giants, I think, won with this contract, and so did the Redskins. Because you know damn well Jerry Jones is going to pay him more than Wentz, and we all know Wentz is a better quarterback. I would even say Eli's probably a better quarterback than Prescott, even with a shitty team last year.
I don't know about that. Eli's been declining. I mean, Eli's
He
gotta show
won
something, to
2
be honest with you.
Super Bowls.
Exactly. He's proven to win.
Get out of here, man.
Dak, I don't know if he's
Always
ever
with
going to...
you New Yorkers. What have you done for me lately?
Dak's at least the second best quarterback in the NFC.
I would go at least third, if not last. I would take the Redskins. I would take Alex Smith with the knee brace on and everything over Dak Prescott right now. That's how much I don't think Dak Prescott is that
Honestly,
good.
I think you got a lot of hate for Dak. And I don't know why. What do you do?
All right, brother. Well, I mean, I appreciate the call in. I'm glad you got on this week, and hope all is well with you and your family.
It's always a pleasure, boys. You boys having me.
Hey, by the way, if you got any more bird videos, please send them to me or Bernie. That was funny as hell.
Yeah, I'll send you some lizards next time.
Woo! All right, buddy.
All right, buddy. Be good.
You boys have yourself a good one, boys.
See ya.
Later. So yeah, that was unexpected. I kind of like that flow, you know. We didn't get to touch on some things we didn't get to talk about yet, but let's dive right into that. The Carson Wentz thing for me, again, the hardest thing for me to be excited about this is why did you do it? Well, I guess it's good if he excels this year, and then you look at it as a bargain of what he should have got paid. But right now, if we're gonna just do it purely on probability, right? So pure probability. Do you think the probability's in his favor to stay healthy?
I mean, you gotta look at the past. No.
Right.
But
so right now, it's, I think, too much of a gamble. I'd rather have had him at a full healthy season and paid him more than to have gambled this money and time and for him to be hurt.
I think, obviously, 75% of this move was they wanted to sign him. But I also think there's a little bit of a bigger picture going with this, because with this deal, it also freed up about $2 or $3 million in the cap. I believe I saw, which in turn, and kind of maybe segue into it a little bit here, sign Malcolm Jenkins. Now they have, I think I saw like $20 million in cap space now.
Right. What's he making right now?
And I am glad you asked, because I knew you were going to do that. So right now he's making $10 million a year, Malcolm Jenkins. Which
restructured and give him 15.
Okay, so
that leaves us with 15 in cap space still.
Yeah, and
I saw some numbers that you presented.
Yeah,
go ahead, go over them.
And right now, what he's getting paid, he's basically the 9th highest paid safety. I mean, not even as an Eagles fan, and may have come across as an Eagles fan, but he's easily a top 5 safety.
Right.
If maybe a top 3. And the
top 3 team leader.
Yeah. I mean, just last year he played every defensive snap, every one.
Right. Listen, I have no problem giving him 15.
Oh, without a doubt.
But my thing was the sitting out shit.
Well, and what it was, he signed a 4-year deal back in 2016. Excuse me. Because I'm drinking Miller Lite. If you want to sponsor me, Miller Lite, or us, I'm sorry. There's no I in team.
I'm not part of that shit.
I'm not TO here. But and then 2018, which was last year, he restructured. Lane Johnson restructured. We were still basically reeling from that guy, the Oregon guy, that fucked everything up for us. And I'll admit, I wanted him.
Potato chip?
So now he wants the money back, I guess, in a way or whatever, because basically they put 2 dummy years onto...
Right.
Which I don't understand.
I didn't know any of that, so I don't mind it, but I don't like the protest.
Yeah.
And shame on you, Eagles organization, for allowing that to even happen after what he did.
Yeah.
So,
but
I
just
will
to
take
give you
his side on that.
Just to give you you guys an idea of where Malcolm Jenkins is right now. Harrison Smith, who is 30 years old, is making $10.25 million, which is right where Jenkins is at. And Rashad Jones, who's 31, is making $12 million. I may be naive for saying this, but who the hell is Harrison Smith? Do you know who he plays for? Or?
I don't know who either of those guys are.
Okay, I mean, I've heard of Rashad Jones. I think it was Green Bay, but I'll tell you this.
He should be getting $5 million. He's terrible. Then
I'll tell you this: Malcolm Jenkins deserves a hell of a lot more than those 2 fuckers.
Right. Yeah, they're fuckers.
And if we get Malcolm back, we'll get McLeod back. We signed the Vikings.
I like McLeod. Everybody calls him
I'm just worried with the knee coming back now. ACL stuff like that. I said even last week on the show that Malcolm should get paid just for helping.
Right,
with
we'll
the
give
restructure.
it back to him now. Right.
Yeah. So.
But what if their plan is next season to re-sign him to a longer deal with better money?
Just add a year then. Just add like take one of those 2 dummy years, which I'm assuming those 2 dummy years are like $60 million for this year that he's not going to get. Give him 1 year for 15.
What I'm saying, but what if they want to sign him for 4 more years?
I would sign 4 years right now, and then take him right to his career.
What if next season with 1 year left, they sign him for 4, and they give him a really great contract to backload it?
Yeah. When
we have better cap space in figuring out our player positions. I just think with 2 years left, and I understand what you did to restructure it, did it have to go this far so soon? But then again, behind closed doors,
you don't know.
What did they promise him?
Yeah.
Maybe there is a good reason for him to be pissed.
And the other thing, too, is Wentz is hitting his rookie, at the end of his rookie deal. We got some more rookies that are hitting the end of their deals, so they're going to want to get paid. I mean, Derek Barnett, we drafted 2 years ago, so he's gonna have to get paid. We have some guys. Basically, they said we have a 3-year window now.
Right. Well, it makes sense. I mean, that's why we can't keep top tier players, and it's tough to keep championship dynasty alive. So, it's
like we'll get back to the Eagles topic here real quick, but do you miss those years, the dynasty years, where within those 10 years a team wins 5-6 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Because I mean, when was the last time you really had it? I mean, I saw
the Patriots,
but they only win like 2 or 3. I'm talking about like the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s, the Niners of...
They won 3.
In 10 years, like a decade.
Yeah. What? The Patriots won...
I'm saying, like the Cowboys of the 90s, they won like 5 or 6 in 10 years. The Niners of the 80s, 6 or 7.
They only won like 3 in the 90s.
Yeah.
You're a little
I feel a little dirty now that I was giving the Cowboys more credit than credit was due.
They only have 5 wins or something, because remember they're like, or 4. I think they only have 4 Super Bowls.
So 4.
But they didn't win in 4 in the 90s.
Oh.
And then I would say the Bills were a better dynasty, and they never won it, but they went to the Super Bowl 4 straight seasons.
Yeah. But
that's what I'm counting too. The Patriots went to the Super Bowl how many times in that decade? You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah. It is funny that Bill Belichick got fired by the Browns.
Right.
And is this great coach. One other player for the Eagles that kind of came out and said that if the right team calls, he would come is Mr. Darren Sproles. Now, with us having Miles Sanders now, us picking up the Penn State kick returner as an undrafted rookie, do you think we should re-sign Sproles now? Because basically
No.
And you know what? I mean, if you guys listen to the first episode when Shoulders came on to Stay Tuned Sports, I said that Sproles, I thought we should have brought Sproles back. Now with the draft over and free agency pretty much winding down, I wouldn't bring him back. The only way I would bring him back is veterans minimum, put him as a punt returner, but say you got to earn your spot now.
Right.
And unfortunately, if we sign him, he's signed sealed deal to make the team, because the article I was reading basically said Wendell Smallwood, Pumphrey, which both those 2 guys I never liked.
Right. Josh Adams.
My boy Josh Adams, and I think there was a 4th one that said, Boston Scott, that said that they won't make a team because we're going to run with 4 running backs. And I'm telling you, I still believe in Josh Adams. I still think he could be the LeGarrette Blount. Blount.
So,
I still think Josh Adams could be the 4th guy, because they're already saying Clement's going to make the team, obviously. Obviously Miles Sanders, and then Jordan Howard, which I want Jordan Howard to stop talking. Because when any player talks so great, I love this team and I love that.
Oh, you mean like the dream team?
Yes, and look what happened. I'm waiting for Jordan Howard to tear an ACL, just because everything is too good to be true.
I didn't wish that on you. He did.
I didn't wish that on you. I just wish you would shut up.
Right.
But I don't think we should sign Sproles. I think Sproles waited too long. He should have signed before the draft, and may have changed the Eagles' thinking with Miles Sanders, or the kick returner that they picked up. But you were looking up something?
Yeah. Okay. So the
Now,
last two decades.
hold on. Before you say anything, I've been out in the sun a lot. I'm a little burnt. The little brain I had is gone because of sun and drinking. Now go ahead.
From 2000 to 2010, which will count a decade,
Okay.
is 3 wins for the New England Patriots.
Super Bowl wins?
Right, and
Okay.
they've been there 4 times. 2011 to the current, 3 wins. So they
Okay.
have 6 in 2 decades.
That's not very good odds.
Well, the
Six-
Great Dallas
six-
team we were talking about had 3 wins in 10 years, but
That's
didn't go
better
no more
odds.
than 3.
But that's better odds.
It's not.
It's actually equal now I think about it. No,
But
it just
to me, is they did it for 2 straight decades, and they've been to the Super Bowl more.
well, and
So let's just look at it. 1990. Okay, so Giants won, Washington won against Buffalo. Buffalo won twice, 4 times in a row. Then Dallas beat them twice.
Okay.
93, 94 was their 2 Super Bowls. They didn't go in 95.
okay.
Then they won it in 96 and did not touch the Super Bowl again currently.
Well, in their defense,
New
the
England
1 year was
Patriots.
a league shortened year.
New England Patriots went in 2002, 2004, 2005, 2008, and 2012,
Now this is all
2015.
this is all the Bills.
No. 2017, 18, and 19. Dude, they've been in the Super... That's a dynasty.
Yeah.
And then you go back in the day, before then, you're looking at Denver had 2 only. Denver had 2 in the same year, in the
Okay.
same decade.
Okay, I get your point. I'm stupid.
No, I'm just saying, it's interesting. There was no real dynasties like that. I gotta say, I hate the fucking Patriots, but...
And the weird thing though too is
New
with
England
this,
went in 86, they lost.
the reason why I brought that up though is because of the whole rookie deals that's been going on for roughly about
Other than that, you got Pittsburgh with 4 in the 70s, and
Yeah.
if you count 80, if not, they have 3 in the 70s, and
Okay.
then 1 in the 80s.
Okay.
I mean, I have to say, I am impressed with the Patriots. I
Yeah.
don't know. Think of those last 2 decades. You're talking at least, what
Well-
did I say, 7 Super Bowl appearances?
Yeah, and I did
8,
say
maybe 9, 10, I don't know.
I did see by the end of this upcoming season, basically even if the Patriots go 0-16, which we know that's not going to happen, they're still going to end this decade as the winningest team record-wise, not just Super Bowls, just record-wise,
Right.
which again,
And
I mean,
again, you can say, well, look at it wasn't the talent because he won a lot. It went to the Super Bowl with a lot of jerks too.
yeah. And you know what? It's I don't hate the Patriots. I just dislike them because of Tom Brady. He's
I
like
don't dislike Tom Brady.
he's to me
I just hate
he's
the Patriots. I hate Belichick more than I hate Brady.
why?
He's
Because
been
he
a
has
class act. He's never had major controversy except the
he-
inflated balls.
yeah,
Bite me.
which
He's never came out and been an asshole.
which the Boston Bruins did call him and ask him if they could deflate the puck, but he doesn't even know if he could do that.
Well, of course not.
But no, Tom Brady to me is like that Marvel supervillain that you.
Is that because he's so good and you're jealous?
No, it is.
Or
no,
is it because... See, you can't... I want to say that. Judge him off his... We'll even say appearance. His appearance, his personality, the way he treated the game, the way he worked in the game, his press conferences, every ounce of his professional career, other than him beating and being on top.
Yeah.
As a football player, not if he never won any Super Bowls, right now, if you just the way he carried himself. What would you say?
He's basically perfect.
Class act.
Yeah.
Can't say a fucking thing.
Exactly.
And here we are belittling the guy.
Oh, I'm not belittling. I'm just.
I'm just saying. Think about that. Because I did it for years too, man, and it was pure jealousy.
And maybe that's why, because, again, I know Wentz is still young. We're still trying to see what he has. When's the last time the Eagles had that in a quarterback?
We never.
I mean, the closest thing maybe you could say is Cunningham, but he was more exciting than Super Bowl.
So let me honestly say that if he gave Philadelphia all those Super Bowls and has still been
I would
playing,
love him.
He would have been the greatest football player in your eyes that ever existed.
Yeah.
So why we cut him short? We gotta be fair, man.
No, and I'm being fair. I
think he is a GOAT.
I still won't say he's number one. I never will.
Listen, I know it's a different era, but he still went to the Super Bowl how many times, man? And it wasn't like it wasn't him that got them there.
It was the whole team that got them there.
Right.
There's 52 players on a team. Come on.
All right, man,
Don't
like
get me going.
I hate the Patriots, I do. But I don't wish anything bad on Tom.
No, I don't wish him hurt or anything like that.
I want him to play longer. I do. I want him to play longer.
Honestly, I've been putting him down this and that. That's the only part of this I want to see. I want to see how old he could play at a high level.
Right.
Because to tie in a little bit of UFC, you remember BJ Penn. Mm-hmm. I've been screaming for about a year now. He needs to retire. He's on a, I believe, 10-fight losing streak. He hasn't won a fight 8 years.
Are they good fights, though?
When the losing streak started, they were championship fights. Now he's fighting like 15th ranked guys and losing by decisions and having his eyes look like Rocky.
So he's entertaining you, right?
Looking like that? Yes.
Well, then shut the fuck up.
But I feel bad for him.
Why? He isn't. He's making bank. Like Daniel Tosh said. Oh, wait a minute. You want to pay me $1 million to be the backup quarterback? Yeah, I'm still gonna play.
He's only making now these fights $3,000-$4,000 a fight, because now they release their salaries for each fight.
There's got to be more to it for him. There's no way he's just doing it for $4,000. He wouldn't survive. How was he paying trainers?
Saves his money from years ago, when he was making $50,000 to $100,000 a fight.
I have no problem with it.
I do, but to touch on the Tom Brady thing, one last thing. About how I hate him and this blah blah.
Cowboys won like 6 Super Bowls.
He to me is Derek Jeter. I love to hate him,
right?
Because, like you said, he played the game the way he's supposed to.
Right.
Whatever he
just didn't do it for your likes.
Exactly. But I respected him. Mariano Rivera, I respect him. But he played for the Yankees. Right. I had to hate them.
Right.
So, but that's that part of it. Let me go back with the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, Jesus.
Just because, let me run this by you. Robbie kind of brought it up about giving more challenges for coaches. How would you feel about, like, with the NFL right now, you get 2 challenges a half. Obviously, there's no halves in hockey. How would you feel about, instead of just having 1 challenge a game, you get 2? Because really, it doesn't really slow the game down that much when they do challenge.
With hockey, they couldn't challenge penalty anyway.
If it affects a goal, it does. They could challenge.
Right, so a penalty happens and they score a goal a minute later. That's still affecting the fucking goal?
Yes, because...
Get out of here, man.
Because...
that's where you got to draw the limit. So I'll just say, he called that in the second period and it gave the momentum and they scored the game winner in the third. I want to challenge.
But the thing is, that goal will never count because the Blues had possession, the whistle would have blown, the game would have stopped. Mm-hmm. So if you review the play...
I'll tell you what, I think it would have been a bigger thing if it went to overtime because they scored and tied it, which they would have had the game-winning goal then. See, I don't know. I still think that... I can't say that, man. I'm sorry, I can't.
So
hockey's pretty well, and I said that, and now all this controversy's coming because it's like whatever I say, the opposite happens. Like, I defended that moron Hill just for the defense, and what happened in 15 minutes. So what I'm going to say is, I'm dead set the Eagles are going to suck this year. They're not going anywhere.
I agree.
They're never going to win another Super Bowl.
And my dad did not put $20 down for me out in Vegas that they're going to win the Super Bowl.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I keep getting my foot in my mouth, but it's, at the time, it's what I feel. Like,
yeah.
I don't... For years, playoffs have been known for hockey. There's less penalties.
Yeah, because you're letting them play, and that's my thing is.
To me, that was foot on foot. Wasn't intentionally. He didn't purposely stick his foot out. It was the way it all happened. Look at it again. Call me wrong. Call me out. I'll give you another time to review it in slow motion for next show.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll call you in on my podcast and we'll go over it again.
And,
but the first look of it, does it look bad? Yes. But it was more skate on skate. He didn't move his leg. He didn't intentionally kick him. He didn't. To me, that is a more bang bang. They were playing and it happened. So I don't have a problem with that.
yeah.
So.
And that's what the Blues player said. He thought that, he was going for the puck, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Now, if he, incidentally, with the stick is different. You're supposed to control your stick. So if his stick did that, I'd say, blown call.
Yeah.
But not body to body. When do you stop a check then? He even got some side contact with it.
Yeah. Before we go, let me get one more opinion from a non-Flyers fan. Supposedly, I saw this late last night, Nolan Patrick is on the trading block. Our number 1 pick from 2 years ago, I believe it was.
Right.
We traded for Hayes.
That's what struggling franchises do.
And it sounds like what they want. They're trying to go all in now to win now for Giroux and Voracek.
I think it's dumb.
I think so too.
I think you got to build your future and sustain it.
And that's what I'm seeing from a lot of fans is that it sounds like this GM. The one thing I will give Ron Hextall is he built a awesome AAA team and with picks. And this GM basically wants to come in and just trade all the prospects away now and win now.
Well, what happens when you trade GMs is they don't want somebody else's fingerprint.
Yeah.
They want to come in and they want to start their own era.
And I don't understand that. I mean, say he walks in with, Sidney Crosby, Drew, Voracek, Patrick, all these guys.
There would be a problem if they're winning, right?
That's what I mean. And then he will look like a good guy.
The old GM would have never been fired.
No, I'm saying new GM comes in.
Right.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Saying.
Yeah.
So you would never have that situation unless they retire.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if a new GM stepped in and had that kind of winning, they're not going to screw with it.
Yeah.
But the reason is you have to understand your organization said it's not getting done. We want what you do. Get in here and do it.
Yeah.
So that's like me taking over right now this entire podcast and doing things my way.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
It sucks for the fans because everybody knows with sports, especially us.
Yeah.
We get emotionally tied to players.
Yeah. But my thing is with Nolan Patrick, he's supposed to eventually be a number 1 center, this and that. So if he's supposed to be a number 1 center, you stick him on the third line and he should be dominant.
Right, but is his contract not worth it? Can he get, with that prospect and he hasn't lived up to it, can they get more for him?
Possibly.
Can they help the team that way?
Yeah. But
that's the biz, bro.
No, I understand the business.
Malkin's milkshake, as you call him, is on the trade block. They said they're working.
I didn't see that.
The Panthers, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and he has a no trade clause, so I don't even know how it's popping up.
Malkin or Kessel? Kessel, because Kessel was the other one.
I know that was the first rumor.
Yeah.
The latest rumor was that I didn't talk about it 2 shows ago. Was Malkin going to Panthers? An order said.
Wow.
Which apparently is going to be the new Penguins. I don't know. Because they keep taking other players.
Well, I think they have a coach or something that was part of the Penguins
right.
organization and stuff like that.
I mean, it's tough. When you hire that GM, and that's what's key and exciting about a GM, more so than a head coach.
Yeah.
This is what happens. Your team gets dismantled.
Yeah.
That's why as soon as Chip Kelly, look at our classic example.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly came in as a coach, we were like, it's going to be interesting.
I was like, yes!
The minute he was GM...
all fucking shit broke.
He didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
And it proves that Howie Roseman came back in and put us right back on the right path.
What, 3 years?
Even though as much as he messed up Howie Roseman's plan, Howie Roseman's plan still was able to come through.
Yeah.
So that's a good GM.
And speaking of Roseman, we did take a hit in the office. We lost Joe Douglas to the Jets as he's the new GM for the Jets. He, from my understanding, had a big part in the draft the past couple of years. So I'm curious to see how that's going to affect us next draft. I mean, obviously, Howie Roseman has final say.
I don't think Howie's a dummy where he won't go out and get somebody that he believes is the same way.
Yeah.
You know, it's all a crapshoot.
Yeah, that or he knew Joe Douglas eventually would be a GM, so he started grooming Joe Douglas's replacement.
Right.
So hopefully, at least.
Well, I don't know. It's tough, but what I want to say at the end here is go Toronto, go Blues.
Go Blues. I really don't care about basketball this Toronto.
Dude, Kawhi Leonard is looking amazing.
Maybe it's because they beat the Sixers, and that's maybe why I'm like, fuck
It is,
them.
but I'll tell you what, they don't look like the same team that played the Sixers.
Yeah. And supposedly he bought property up in Toronto, so he may be sticking around after this year.
Oh man, I wish he would come to Philly. I would buy season tickets.
I think if anything, he's going to the Lakers. I think everybody's going to want to go to Lakers again with LeBron and all that
I heard LeBron
circus.
might go.
Dude, I will laugh if he leaves
I
the
heard they're going to
Lakers.
trade him. I heard they're going to trade him.
Yeah, if he gets traded from the Lakers, I will start watching basketball. I will watch his games. I hope he gets traded to the crappiest team, maybe back to Cleveland again.
Is that jealousy again?
Next week on State. But
so I mean, there's some cool news out there. I'm glad that we got another show out.
Yeah.
I really want to get my show out. Yeah, I've been so drained and busy, and I just really want some people to interact with us. So.
No, but yeah, if you guys ever want to call in or whatnot, just like I said, hit us up on Twitter at ST Sports Podcast.
If you hit me up on Twitter, I'll give you Jimbo's personal cell number.
But yeah, head over to Twitter, follow the show at ST Sports Podcast, follow my personal one at Jimbo ST Sports, follow O'Brien, not O'Brien because that's not his name, at shoulders_bro. Head over to Facebook, like and share us, and head over to YouTube to, oh man, what are we supposed to do? I forget what we're supposed to do over at YouTube.
Yeah, you go over there and you type in protein shake. Go over to YouTube. I don't know. Why do you just say it? It's so stupid.
Because I want you.
I want you to follow us on there. I want that golden button or whatever it is. But I just want to attract more fans. Please get out there and tell people. We'd like you to, so we can have more interaction more than anything.
Yeah.
I can't take this dimwit's comments much more. Well, didn't they win like 5 Super Bowls? No, they don't even think they have 5 their entire career.
So till next week's guys, this is your good friend Jimbo signing out, as well as
O'Brien's out.
See ya.
Peace.